Yeah. Yeah. They're all -1. Johnny Boy is +1. Welcome to Lake of the Woods. Right here, fish number 1. We're gonna show you some awesome combo fishing today. Jigs and minnows, spinners and minnows. A lot of fun stuff coming, right, Joe?
It's coming. I'll tell you what, walleye fishing's been on fire, and we're hoping to get the good bite going again today.
Woohoo! Right.
Got him. That's the right kind.
Yeah.
There we go, baby.
There you go.
Nice.
That fish ate that jig, and you know, it's funny. We're doing some drifting here, and we're fairly shallow water. You know, we're around what 12 feet of water or so. But you know, we're drifting some jigs, and we're also drifting some spinners, and both techniques are working. We're just trying to dial it in. You know, and that's one of the things too, you guys, is that when you're fishing with another person, another couple people, nice sauger. Look at that.
Swing him in there.
Look at that one. Look at the colors in that sauger compared to a walleye. You guys notice that we have a lot of saugers on Lake of the Woods. Notice that the walleye is more golden, the sauger's browner. The walleye's got that white tip. And then the other thing a walleye has is that walleye has kind of at the base of its dorsal here, they got that black tip right here, where my thumb is, right here. They got that black tip. And you know, sauger doesn't have that on the dorsal. That's one of the ways they tell the difference. And of course, the limits on Lake of the Woods, you guys, it's a combined limit of walleyes and saugers of 6 fish. Up to 4 of the 6 can be walleyes. There's a slot limit on Lake of the Woods, 19.5 inches to 28 inches. You must release those fish. You can keep your fish underneath 19.5, which by far the best eaters anyway. And of course, then you can keep one fish that's over 28 if you want to keep one for the wall. Although some people will get a good picture of that and get a graphite mount. But you know, this is a nice fish here. Now, I'm going to measure this fish. I know this is a keeper, but I'm just going to check it on the judge. And you know what, in this fish? Perfect. 18 inches. That's a nice keeper, and we're just going to keep it going from here.
And those big saugers, you always want to keep those because otherwise you run out and you come in short of your limit.
Right, exactly.
So that ensures you're always going to have something for the resort for your fish fry. And then, you know, because there's times you can catch too many big fish, to be honest. And so you want to keep those saugers. Oh, that's too big for dinner. We'll hope. Good job, Greggy. If you guys from Michigan are looking at the way we fish up here in the Minnesota region of Lake of the Woods, these charter boats are very similar, Greg, to the charter boats they have over in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yep. Just,
but they fish different.
yeah, you see more live bait presentations. You will see some trolling up here.
Yep, a little bit in the midsummer, but I'll tell you what, they work really, really good for just drifting jigs, drifting crawler harnesses. Yep. And what's fun about that, guys, that watch my show consistently, is that this is rod and hand combat fishing.
Yeah, you get to feel the bite. That's
exactly.
Like.
And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of releasing of fish because of the slot, but there's also a lot of catching, eating, and you can keep them, of course, and take your legal limit home with you. So it's awesome. Here's a ruler there, Greg. See where we stand.
Yep. 18.5.
Beautiful. That's the one we want. That's a box fish there, Greggy. Good job.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Angler Quest, built with purpose. Traxstech, the ultimate fishing system. Strike King, tie one on. Garmin.
We all want to keep moving, and we all need fuel to do it. Now, with the revolutionary FlowFast system, you can fuel up and keep moving from literally anywhere. FlowFast will pump or siphon an amazing 8 gallons per minute, so you can get back to what you do best. To find out more about FlowFast, go to flowfast.com. FlowFast. Fuel up. Keep moving.
Somebody saw a good one. Well, that thing took my rod on the down stroke. I had to save it all. Nice keeper eye.
Nice.
Well, that right there is the case of I set my rod down to put my water bottle over there. I lurked away literally, and all I had, the only indication I had the rod was going over the side of the boat is the butt of the rod banging me in the elbow on the way out. Oh, it was a nice save, and that, my friends, is a perfect size fish, and that's right there just an indication of the type of spinners that we use up here. That's a triple worm hook, little small gold Indiana blades. Guys, if there's one thing that you want to remember is every lake has its own characteristics. Lake Erie and places like that, they use these great big spinner blades. Not so much here at Lake of the Woods. You're going to see a lot of small number 3 Colorados, Indiana blades, and they work really, really well. These fish are feeding on you know, mayflies throughout the course of the year and other type of stuff. We're working on a nice box of sauger, and that's that nice mix bag. You see those 4 saugers in there, they're going to end up contributing nicely to our catch. Good one.
Nice.
Finally, drop back into his mouth. Just put a fresh crawler on. Guys, when you're drifting, you want a nice wind, and it's starting to get just windy enough for us to catch beautiful, beautiful eaters. This is going to be the perfect fish. Brian, grab that hook out of the net for me. These are perfect eaters. Beautiful fish right there. Back hook. Even though he hammered it, he didn't have the whole thing. I went to a 3-hook crawler harness, guys, and that's one of the things you want to make sure of, is that you come and you stop into the local, like I say, either the local resort you're staying at or at the local bait shops, and buy a little splash. 2-hook harnesses are great when they're bonsai, but those 3 hookers, they can put bonus fish like that right in your box. Get a good one.
Hi, Brian. What you got, buddy?
There we go. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see what you got here. It's gonna be a slot, isn't it?
I think so.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a throwback.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things about going out on a charter boat is that everything's included. So you imagine, stay at a nice resort, you have a good breakfast in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, you jump on the boat, rods, reel, tackle, bait, licensed charter captain. They're networked with other boats, putting you on the fish. Very good opportunity for success. Fish all day, grab a bunch of walleyes. 5 o'clock, you bring the charter boat in, you go to happy hour, they clean your fish. And if you want, resort will even cook them up. I mean, it's an easy deal, and it really puts you on, gives you a nice opportunity to catch a lot of walleyes. Now I'm gonna measure this walleye. I got a feeling it's gonna be in the slot, which is just fine, because we're catching fish. Let's see. Yep, almost 21 inches. Beautiful. That is a nice Lake of the Woods walleye. And I'll tell you folks, so the reason we have a slot limit on Lake of the Woods of 19.5 to 28 inches, you put them back, is because a female walleye in Lake of the Woods begins reproducing at 19.5 inches. So we're letting all those reproducers go back, which creates sustainability in a really good, healthy fishery. Also creates an opportunity for some big walleyes. And then of course, you know, when it comes to catching a trophy, if you want to keep a trophy over 28, you're allowed 1 per day. So we're learning to let this fish go.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by KRAFT, the toughest built aluminum boats, bar none. Dreamweaver, home of the revolutionary spin doctor. Lose, feel the difference. WavePro, best ride on the water.
WavePro high-performance boat pedestals eliminate bottoming out and back-jarring impacts. Now available the 2.0 version and slider seat hubs. The best in air shock technology provides a controlled return to keep you on your seat. Fast and easy to install with permanent mounts or movable hubs for quick and easy seat placement in 10 to 16-inch models. WavePro, high-performance boat pedestals, best ride on the water. Online at waveproshock.com.
Hook that fish on. Get him. Maybe. Good, Joe. Good job, Joe.
Thanks.
All right, Joey.
Nice eater.
Yeah.
Take that.
Keep fishing, boys.
But tell you what, another nice eater. Oh, sorry, John.
Beautiful.
I'll tell you what, folks. You know, you know, John, we've talked about it, but it's kind of cool because when you come to Lake of the Woods, there's really 3 areas to Lake of the Woods. You know, first off, you got the Rainy River. There's 42 miles of navigable Rainy River that flows into Lake of the Woods. Secondly, you got Big Traverse Bay where we are today. Big Traverse Bay is about 30 miles north-south by about 25 miles east-west. Great big open water. The deepest spot in Big Traverse is only 38 feet deep. That means that whole thing is prolific with life. In fact, fish on, look at that.
Fish on.
Double header.
Yeah, and what happens is these fish migrate through the entire basin area. Well, Brian catches that, and Greg Jones, yeah.
Oh, pike.
Yeah, pike. So what happens is these fish migrate through the whole area. And right now, early in the season, Joe, when they're feeding on bugs and mayflies and things like that, the crawler bite is awesome. But it can turn to a crankbait, jig, and spinner bite all summer long.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, it's kind of cool because as the season goes on, you know, a lot of people worry about the dog days of August. Fishing gets tough. Fishing doesn't get tough. This is when people come to Lake of the Woods, is late summer. It's one of the best bites ever. I'm gonna check this fish just to show it. I'm guessing this fish is about 17 to 18 inches. Let's take a look and see.
Beautiful call,
17
Joe. 17 and a half.
Yeah.
Well,
Swam forward a second ago.
He's gonna eat. Good job. Way to go. Oh yeah. He might be too big to eat.
I'll tell you what, you know, earlier we were talking about the 3 different areas. We talked about the river and the basin. The 3rd area is the northwest angle. And actually, we're pretty close to the angle. The northwest angle, you guys, is that little tip of Minnesota that sticks up into Canada. It's actually the northernmost point of the contiguous U.S. And it's where the 14,552 islands of Lake of the Woods begin. But I tell you, fish up there, God, there's structure, underwater points, of course, islands, bays, multi-species heaven, just beautiful. So a lot of ways to fish on Lake of the Woods, and you know, every month of the year there's something going on.
Good fish too, isn't it?
All right.
It'll eat, right, Jonesy?
It might be,
Oh my goodness, it's not gonna eat. He's lived too long.
No, this is all self-sustaining. In fact, that's one of the reasons for the, you know, the slot limit is that, you know, this is all natural reproduction. You know, they estimate, and who knows, but they estimated over 10 million walleyes in Lake of the Woods, and
it didn't even come
you know what?
back up.
It's just been always so healthy of a fishery.
Just laid it down. We're in a spot. Might almost want to lay a coordinate here. Nice. Another perfect eater. Get that hook right there out of the net. Got him in the cheek, and that's what's holding him in the net. Beautiful fish.
Nice one.
Awesome job. Thanks for the net. Tried to lay my rod down, didn't even get it laid down this time, and it went. Get him, Joe. Nice one, too.
You go ahead, Captain.
Get him, Joe. Well, Joe's
Nice eye.
You can extend that net, I think, too. That's a bigger fish.
I'll get him up to you.
Chunky.
For that
Yeah.
one, huh? Mouth closed, tails pinched. We got 20 That's a nice walleye. And you know what? Hey, I don't mind one bit letting a fish like this go. I mean, it feels good because you're creating sustainability. We got a cooler full of fish. I think we need a few more. Heck yeah, let's let this fish go.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Offshore Tackle Products, FlowFast, world's leading portable fluid transfer system, Drotto, catch and release boat system.
Make loading and unloading your boat easy with the Drotto Catch and Release Automatic Boat Latch. Load with ease, simply drive on the trailer and the Drotto will automatically latch to your bow eye. A hard plastic liner protects your boat. For launching, back your boat in, pull the release lever and away you go. For roller or bunk trailers, the Drotto is quick and easy to install and works with most V-hull boats. Spend less time at the landing and more time fishing. The Drotto Catch and Release Automatic Boat Latch, online at DrottoProducts.com.
Yeah, that are nice walleye. Big perch, big perch. That's a monster perch.
Yeah.
That's a monster perch.
Oh my goodness, look at
Get
this
that in.
perch. This is
That's a monster, Greg.
That is.
Well, Greg, so take a look at that perch. And you know what? Let's. I'll tell you, folks. You know, at Lake of the Woods, we get some absolutely monster jumbo perch, as you can see now. We don't get a lot of them. It's not like you can come up here and fill a bucket. But when you're fishing walleyes especially, I tell you what, it's amazing what you'll catch. Greg, let's get that on a stick. But that's a big fish. Look at the size of that thing.
Solid 14, maybe 14 and 8.
Somebody else can catch that jumbo.
There you go, John.
John's hooked up.
Stay hooked up, please. It's a nice eater. Yeah. Oh, nice fish too. It's take and drag. We like taking, ooh, nice keeper. Beautiful. The captain is contributing. See that right there, guys? We're using those nice big half-ounce gold jigs, and there's several different colors that are critical when you're coming up here, but you don't have to worry about it because the folks right here in the town of Baudette, as well as at the tip of the point, every resort has their own little tackle shop, and it's all stocked to the gills with all the right colors. That's Brian's fish right there. Awesome job, Bri. Adding to what is certain to be a great dinner for all of us tonight.
There's a
Jonesy is a double.
Look at that. Fish are down there.
Perfect. Joe's is going to be a little too big.
You know what? Nice walleye. And I'll tell you, you know, when I went to a little bit longer smell, I'm using a pink blade. I'll tell you, the stained water Lake of the Woods, gold, pink, glow white, glow pink, chartreuse, those bright colors really get her done. I want to measure that fish. I'm thinking this is going to be 20. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be too long, but I hope not.
Let's take a look. 20 and a half. Let's let this fish go.
We've had practically as many oversized ones today as we've had keepers, Joe.
You know, and I'll tell you, again, I said it before, John, but I feel good about letting those fish go.
Oh, me too.
I'm at our cooler's full. We got a pike in the boat. I mean, we're catching fish.
Right, we have 4 saugers, 12 keeper walleyes, and we've had to throw numerous overs back. That's just a fun day. So what is that, 16 fish for 4 guys? I think we have enough to eat.
Oh, we got more than enough to eat, don't we?
Fish.
Fish on.
I got hit right. You know what the key is, Joe?
That?
All these boats left. So guys, while Joe works this fish, we were fishing this area, and there must have been, what, 10 charters, Joe?
Yeah, there's a few in here.
There's a good 10 charters working. those boats all left. Now we're down to just us and those two are hundreds of yards away. And now we are making longer drifts, and he wanted that one.
Boy, he wanted that one. That's a nice
But that's
fish.
a keeper.
Let's see what that one is. What do you say?
He's about 17.
Let's see. Yep, spot on.
17, the old tournament part of me.
Yep.
I'm hoping it's not too big or we'll have to keep fishing. But it feels too big. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nice walleye. There you go.
Yeah.
23?
Yeah.
So John Bergsman, you've fished Lake of the Woods in tournaments, you've fished it your whole life, really, and talk about the big fish opportunities here. I mean, you've targeted big fish on Lake of the Woods before.
Yeah, that was really the key to doing well in tournaments on Lake of the Woods. You know, these were wonderful fish to catch, but they did you no good in a tournament. You had to catch them below 19 and a half. We try to get 18 and a half and above as a target, and then the big ones over 28 inches. Now, you know, my tournament partner and I liked to work the mud transition when we were doing big fish, like the 25 to 30 foot outside major rock structures. But as this basin in this lake goes out away from the structures, it gets soft bottom, and those big girls lay out there. And if you can pull a properly presented spinner past them, they'll take it.
Lights out. We get a lot of fish. You know, why is Lake of the Woods a big fish destination? I'll tell you, there's a few reasons. Number one, we got the right gene pool. Number two, you know what? You got to have a lot of big water with a diverse forage. And number three, I tell you, it sure helps to have tulibies. Tulibies is a big fish forage on this lake, and it helps those walleyes grow big, grow fast. So nice fish, John. We'll get that one back, eh?
Absolutely. Hey guys, awesome day here on Lake of the Woods in northern Minnesota. Joe, how can these people get a hold of you and all the great opportunities?
You know what? You want to come up to some walleye fish like we did today? Check out our website. That's lakeofthewoodsmn.com.
John Bergsma, Joe Henry, Greg Jones, and Brian, and the most awesome charter boat pilot in the world, saying see you next time from Lake of the Woods in Minnesota. Thanks for joining us today.
Closed captioning is brought to you by WavePro. Best ride on the water. Online at waveproshock.com.